Hello, hello, hello. Hello. So now that we are up and running, took a second. It was like loading, but it's all here. I am super excited to talk to you about animals and essential oils today. We are going to really just talk about my experience with using oils around animals. And I just have had this in the back of my head kind of coming together. And really, with the growing popularity of oils and then us just loving our fur babies, animals, we want to make sure that we're doing it safely. So I am really just here to talk about my experience with that. So hello, everyone jumping on. Hello, hello. So I've been using oils for over 7 years now. I've had pets all of my life. I actually grew up on a farm. When I was way younger, we had a like 100-acre farm with horses, and I got to see a horse being delivered, and that was like my first experience or memory that I have with horses. Really, is that one where we ended up getting a horse, and the vet was like, "No, she's not pregnant. She's just, you got to run her a little bit." And then a few months later, she had a baby. And so that's like my first memory with animals. But since then, we as in my family, we've always just been hoarding animals. After we moved off of that farm and onto another smaller farm, we started rescuing and fostering Rottweilers and bigger dogs. We've done a lot of just rescue situations where we take in the dog, help it really just come in and calm down and get it back to going, and then foster it so it is happy around humans and used to humans again, and then we give it a permanent home. From there, I've always had, so that's dogs and horses, and then I've always had cats as well. And I have a special place in my heart for cats. I do. I am such a cat person. I love my big animals. Grew up on the back of a horse, like I was just telling you. I've always had these huge, big dogs. Like when I'm talking dogs, I'm saying like big German Shepherds and Rottweilers always around me. I'm always just running around them, and they would always come when I was going on horseback riding trails. The dogs would come out with us. And then we had barn cats, and then the cats would snuggle with me and they would get in my lap. We had litters of kittens. We had cats that were kind of just dropped off for us to rescue. And so, of course, I have been just around animals since a very young age, and I love them. Anytime around I see one, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to go pet. I need to go say hello and talk to this animal like it's my own. So we're going to be talking about how I actually take care of these animals naturally, and how I have used my personal wellness toolbox, which is rooted in plants and natural healing, and how I've actually transitioned this and used it with all of my pets as well. So I've talked about horses, dogs, cats. We've also rescued chickens. We used to have at one point we had over like 150 chickens in the backyard with the horses and the dogs, and then we were given a rabbit to foster as well. And so the rabbit went in with the chickens into the chicken coop. I just love animals. So I've been around a lot of animals. Grew up on a farm in Alabama. And they just, like I said, they have a special place in my heart. So with how much I care about my own wellness, I also care about my animals' wellness as well. And I want to make sure that they're taken care of on a cellular level. And I feel like I have tools to support them. And I've seen some absolutely incredible results with these little just bottles of plant juice that we can have on hand all the time to support our animals. So you guys just watch me. I put on Stress Away. I love this blend. It's a blend of essential oils. It's kind of like a vanilla lime scent. And it does exactly what it says. It takes that stress away and then actually helps my brain focus. So I like putting it on right before I'm jumping on and talking to you guys so that I can really focus my brain and then get all of that like side clutter out of my brain so I can really focus. But this one is also really good around pets. And we're going to be talking about how to use oils around pets a little bit later. But Stress Away is one that I have. You just saw me, I just rubbed it in my hands, rubbed it all over. And then typically what I do, since I currently just have a cat, I've moved from all of the animals down to one cat. Her name's Luna. I've had her for 5 years. I rescued her 5 years ago in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And she is just a sassy cat. She is the sassiest cat I've ever met. But anytime that I have oils on, she actually comes and like sits under my feet. So right now she's directly under my feet. And she just kind of purrs and she can still take in the aroma. So it doesn't have to be like me applying them directly to her, which is great. I can have multiple ways to support her body as well as supporting my own. So there has been so much extensive studying and research alongside using oils with vets and animals, and they've actually developed an incredible safe and effective method. Nowadays, it's called, are you ready for this? This word has tripped me up every time I say it. So it's zoopharmacology. Yeah? Yeah. So basically, what it means is that pets and oils go together. Yeah. They work really great together. So it means that animal medicine knowledge is what it breaks down to. That's the Greek root of zoopharmacology. There we go again. So this method states that animals have an innate ability to know what they need for their health, which is super cool. So before we get into all of this amazingness, I want to do a quick TED Talk. If you feel like I'm talking in code throughout this class, it's because I am. The FDA has greatly limited and regulated what I am and am not allowed to say regarding these amazing plant oils. But I'm going to still do my best to communicate the incredibly potent and effective benefits of all these oils. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any of your illnesses or your pets. The content I cover is for informational purposes only, and if I mess up and do say something that is not compliant, please don't turn me into the FDA. Just do your own research. Know that I have done so many hours of it. And thank you for listening to my very short TED Talk. And now let's get started right away. So I told you all about my amazing journey with animals and how long I've been using essential oils. So it's been 7 years that I've been using oils with animals. So I think I have some experience with it, just some. I have stories that literally are still so crazy to me, but I'm like, wow, these little powerhouses are amazing. So there's actually texts dating back hundreds of years which reference using plant extract on animals. Isn't that cool? Yes. So in the 1940s, veterinarians started developing this protocol with aromatherapy. In 1993, a French vet actually wrote the first book dedicated to the use of essential oils with animals. Isn't that cool? We actually have books on this. We have textbooks. We have so much great content that actually teaches you how to use this in a safe and effective way. Okay, so with all of this information, like I said, there's been so much studies done on how to use these. So I want you to know that this isn't just something that it's like, we use it however we want. No, there's an effective method to do this. So first of all, what are essential oils? Well, they are the living essence of the plants. This is the part of the health and defense mechanism within the plant. So it's like that juice, you know, when you take a leaf and you kind of smush it in your hands and you feel all that juice actually come out into your hands? That's the essential oils. Yes, that is it. So when we inhale or when we absorb on our skin, we're actually getting these essential oils into our body and directly into our brains, which is so cool how they work so closely with our brains. The scent of smell is actually connected to the limbic system in the brain. And this is where emotions, memory, and certain regulatory functions are found in the body. So you can actually use essential oils to simultaneously use the effects of physical support and emotional support within the body. So it's actually both. Isn't that cool? So I mentioned that long word, zoopharmacone. I keep butchering it every single time. But the zoopharmaconacy, oh, I love that. I love it. So animal medicine knowledge. This method states that animals have the innate ability to know what they need for health. When we're working with essential oils, we use this natural instinct that animals have to allow them to choose what product they actually prefer. Isn't that cool? So this method is safe, it's effective, and it's simple, but it also strengthens the bond between you and your pet. I don't know about you, but I'm all here for strengthening the bond between me and my pet. I love my little fur baby. But like I said, she's sassy, so I can't like run up to her and like grab her and snuggle her. That's just not the cat she is. She likes to look at you from a distance and then give you a sassy and walk away. That's just what she does. So this is a great way to actually strengthen the bond between you guys because she'll start, at least my cat has come over and she'll be like, "Ooh, you have that oil on right now," or "Ooh, I like this diffuser. I'm going to curl up around this blend." It's quite cool to see how animals react and do different things. And my hair is now stuck in my necklace. Don't you love when that happens? Okay, so when you allow the animal to choose, you can actually have your essential oils, your different ones, and you keep the lid on it and you place them on the floor in front of you or around you, and you can let them smell it. So their choice of a positive sign will be a prolonged sniff, interest, or even licking the bottle, and that indicates that they are okay with you using this on them, right? A negative choice will look like them completely ignoring it, barely giving it a sniff, or actually completely just avoiding it. And it turns out animals have been caring for themselves long before humans started having them in their homes. Really? Wonder if I've heard that before. But yes, animals know how to take care of their body, which is so cool. They naturally and instinctually know how to do this. So this is just one of those ways to tap into how they already function and combine it to supporting you, helping them a little bit more. So have you ever experienced where your pet, specifically like your dog, runs outside and starts eating the grass? And we know when they start eating the grass, that means their tummy's not feeling good, right? So they're trying to either process something or get a bad taste out of their mouth. So they know instinctually what to do. So one of my favorite resources that I've learned so much from for animals is this big old textbook. Ugh, it's so good. So this is Life Science Publishing Animal Death Reference. This, so good. There's so many great things in here. So with this textbook, I've learned so many different things. There's info about birds, cats, dogs, fishes, horses, pocket pets. So these are things like guinea pigs, mice, reptiles, even livestock and wildlife. So if you are totally on my page with rescuing animals, or you are outside and you find animals and they're injured, or whatever your circumstance is, if you're a person who has animals around you all the time, you need this book. It's been so amazing just to be able to learn more about how animals function, and while also learning about how plants can support the animals. So personally, I have used this book to teach me about horses, dogs, and cats, but I do have a little bit of knowledge about bunnies and chickens. Just because that's what I grew up with. So those are the main animals, but there's so many more animals out there and so much more to learn about. So I'm always, anytime I'm bored, I just go and open it to a page and I'm like, oh, Learned something new today. It's so great, so great. So horses tend to respond really well to essential oils. My sister, she actually competes. Now, I don't know the exact terminology, but she does the jumping. So she jumps horses. That's what she does. Anyways, so she has this horse right now, and I earlier this summer was at one of her events, and they coated her horse in essential oils to help the horse calm down, to help the horse really just get into the right mindset. And she ended up winning the whole shebang. She won the whole show. It was great. It was like, oh, look at that. So they respond really well because they're herbivores. They have the metabolic pathway that breaks down most oils, and they also tend to prefer inhalation and licking methods. So with dogs, you got to think about dogs. They are dogs. They tend to prefer inhalation and licking method as well. Anytime you put oils on them, they're probably going to lick them up. Anytime that you have something that they like on your hands, or maybe you just applied the essential oils, they're going to come over and just like sniff you and get all in it. So that's their preferred method. Now for cats, they are a little different, right? So cats don't have the same metabolic pathways to break down all essential oils like dogs and horses do, but essential oils can still be safe to use. There's a big but there, and I'm going to get to it later. So not all essential oils are created equally. Okay, so they're not all safe to use. Yeah, so we got to get that first. They are not all safe to use. So be sure to let your cat pick which oil they like. And this means your cat's probably going to tell you what it likes and what it doesn't like. If you have an oil on and you go to pick up your cat and they look at you like, what? And run away, that means they probably don't like that scent, and that's okay. Don't force them. They are so smart, and they will tell you exactly what works best for them. Again, this book is a great tool to have on hand because it gives you multiple options. The best part about Young Living Oils is it's not a one size fits all. Even with animals, it's not a one size fits all. There's so many other resources that you can pull from. There's oils, there's blends of oils, there's supplements, and the list just keeps going. It's fantastic. So let's talk some general rules of thumb. Animals, due to their hair follicles, actually have an increased rate and amount of absorption. So they absorb the essential oil pretty fast. When you put it on your hand, it actually gets into your bloodstream within 20 seconds. When you put it on your pet, it's going to be faster than that. So you want to use a carrier oil. I love V6 carrier oil. It's what I use for all of my dilutions for me and my pets. But you can also use things like avocado oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil. There's definitely options. Just make sure it's clean and there's no additives in it and it's organic. Okay. So you want to err on the cautious side with animals, especially if you've never used essential oils with animals in the past. You want to start slow, just like you do on your human self and just like you do on little babies. So cats should have a carrier oil. The dilution ratio is around 8 drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of oil. Yeah. So 8 drops of carrier oil, 1 drop of oil. For dogs under 25 pounds, you should have 5 drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. So you can always dilute further, but in the beginning, let's just start with some ratios, right? So again, you want to listen to your animal. If you're diffusing oils for yourself while your pets are around, just make sure to have an open door. So basically, don't trap your cat into the room, or your dog or your animal or your pig, whatever it is you have in your house these days. I have a friend who has a pig and it cracks me up. The pig loves it. So you just want to make sure the door is not trapped where they can't get any fresh air. So this means if you are like me and you have diffusers in every room, you're probably not going into every single room all the time. So I live in an apartment building, so I have one room that doesn't have a diffuser on. So if I overwhelm and overstimulate my cat, she has a safe space to go. And if I notice she goes in there, I definitely just open the window just a little bit. But like I said, she's directly underneath me right now. I've got a diffuser right in this room, right behind my computer, right outside in my kitchen, and in the living room as well. So there's diffusers going with all these different aromas, and she loves it. It's fantastic. So if you have a cat, do you ever experience them sitting in a place where they don't enjoy something? No, you don't. If you see a cat and they don't enjoy something, they're going to let you know and they're going to leave the room. They're going to be sassy about it. So just really be aware. And this is where it comes in great if you have a relationship with the pet. Now, if you're working with rescued animals, you got to work a little differently. We can talk about that later. So, three most important things while being cautious on your pet's just support. Yeah, you want to be aware. You want to, one, make sure the quality of the oil is good. Not all oils are created equally. You want to let your pet choose if you're applying it onto them, and you always want to provide an out. So again, quality, choice, and providing an out. Three main things that are super important to be aware of. So, yeah. So as we know, I just said all oils are not created equally. So how do you know what to pick? Well, I only use one brand because I've done so much research on this. Before I started using this one brand, I went through and called probably like 15 different brands to see if they had any of the standards that this company does. And it was shocking that they didn't. So basically, I only use Young Living because of their amazing seed to seal brand. So this is their seed to seal guarantee that everything from the seed being planted in the ground all the way to sealing that bottle, you know exactly what's in that bottle, exactly what's happening, and there's no additives or junk in there. You're not going to find that anywhere else. At least I haven't. The amazing things that this company does just to keep the seed to seal guarantee standard is, it's crazy. It absolutely is just so crazy to me, but I am so grateful for it because I love that I can use it on myself and around my animals, and I'm not worried about anything. So this is the golden key with oils. You can expect that Young Living is the best. It's only going to give you the best. And here's some things that they do with the seed to seal promise. So the plant material that is grown is actually on these beautiful farms all over the world that you can visit. I've personally been to 3 of the farms and they are stunning. They are absolutely stunning. It's so cool. Sustainable farming and sourcing practices provide us the purest oil. The care that goes into these farms to preserve and protect natural resources is incredible. The fields are actually hand weeded, and there's zero use of pesticides on any of the farms, even on the outer rims of the farm. So they make sure that there's no farms next to it that could have some water come onto their farm, and then there would be some cross contamination. They double check for all of that so it doesn't happen. There's rigorous testing on each batch in internal labs and also a third-party facility, which comes down to about 30 different tests are being done on each batch of essential oils to provide and just guarantee that it's super clean and there's nothing in it that could be toxic. So again, there's never any additives, fillers, or toxins. And the best part about this is if the oils do not match these super high standards, they are actually rejected and will not be bottled by Young Living. Young Living would rather have something go out of stock than have an inferior product slip through and come to our households. So that's freaking incredible. That's called our seed to seal guarantee, and it's literally amazing. I can smell the difference of oils. I can feel the difference of how my body reacts to them versus if I have one that I haven't had one in years, because it's just so crazy to me how different they are. So again, if you're buying store-bought, grocery store, Target, any of those things, then those aren't real oils. They're actually just fragrances, and fragrance is a word that means toxins. Just anytime you see fragrance, just replace it in your brain with toxic. Okay, toxic. So let's get into some of my favorite recipes to use with animals. So remember, less is more, gradual is better, and moderate is wise, okay? Has anyone heard of lavender? Yeah, I think everyone's heard of lavender essential oil. It's the Swiss knife of oils. You can use it for so many different things. It's absolutely amazing. You can use it for yourself, you can use it on your animals, and this one is just really great to have for all circumstances. I use it personally to help calm down at night, to help unwind if your animal is running around like a crazy. This is a great one to put in the diffuser. Put it right along their spine with a carrier oil. And if there's any like cuts or like burns or anything that happens, this is a great thing to have on hand to just seal on, and think of it like the cleanser to an injury. That's what I use it for. Okay, so for dogs, I have this favorite recipe, and you actually put it on their collar. So all of my dogs, we always had leather collars, but it works with any collar that you can put into water. So you're going to take 1 cup of water, 5 drops lavender, 2 drops citronella, which is to help with bugs, 1 drop cedarwood, which is to help calm down, focus the brain, and 2 drops geranium, which is to support the skin. So you're going to mix all of these into a bowl and put the collars in the bowl and let it soak for about 5 minutes, and then remove it from the liquid, let it all like drip off. And then you put it back on the pet, and you can redo this about every single week. And it's so supportive to calm the pet down, support the pet when it's outside, when there's all the bugs outside, so they're not getting all the bug bites, and support the skin to make sure the skin and the hair follicles are doing super great. So that's one recipe that you can use every single week to support your animals. And it's great. I love this recipe. It's worked so well. It's worked so freaking well. So are you ever tired of that dog smell, you know, when they're like running around, or maybe that cat smell? We know what I'm talking about, the cat smell. So to help with pet odors, I actually love this one blend. It's called Citrus Fresh. You can diffuse it around the house or wherever the litter box is located. You can also create a spray out of it. So if you notice your pet is avoiding the spray, you can use it in one way to keep that pet off the couch or out of the kitchen. But if they're actually liking the smell, then you can spray it all over the house like an air freshener. So if you notice that they're not in love with the smell and you're starting to use it to keep them out of the kitchen or to keep them off the couches, stuff like that, then you can switch Citrus Fresh out with Purification, Lavender, or my new favorite is actually Gary's Light to have around the house. So let's get back to Citrus Fresh. Citrus Fresh is actually a blend of a ton of different citruses and then a spearmint. So orange brings peace and happiness over the body and the brain, tangerine calming the nervous system down, mandarin promoting happiness. It's refreshing, uplifting, and almost like revitalizing. I love that one. Grapefruit is balancing and uplifting to the brain. Lemon promotes health and actually energy. And then spearmint is to uplift the spirits. So I actually also diffuse spearmint when I have animals or people, or animals or people who aren't getting along, and I need to like calm the moods down and have everyone harmoniously getting along. That's typically when I grab spearmint. But if I'm out of spearmint, I make sure to grab my Citrus Fresh because it has all of those amazing citruses that boost just that serotonin in our brain, and love it. So it works the same with animals. So if you're finding that animals are just not happy, they're like moping around, you know what I mean, animal lovers, you get it. So this is a great one to have on hand to kind of uplift their spirits. You know, when you have a dog and you said you want to go outside, you want to go to the park, that excitement is what you want to start seeing out of them. If they're like moping around, then you can use these oils to support that and have them, a little happier, right? So to create this room freshening spray, all you're going to do is take 20 drops of Citrus Fresh or one of those other oils I've mentioned, and you take a 4-ounce spray bottle, fill it with distilled water. It's important, distilled water, and then put the 20 drops of Citrus Fresh in there. And the only thing with this is if you are using essential oils, you want to make sure that they are actually in a stainless steel container or a BPA-free container, because the Young Living essential oils are so pure and powerful, and there's no fillers. They're so concentrated that they will actually eat away at the plastic. So we want to make sure that it's glass, stainless steel, or BPA-free plastic, okay? So There is actually a whole line of essential oils that are pre-diluted for animals. I love that. It's called our Animal Sense line. It is actually a portion of all of these products go to support Vital Grounds, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting the habitat of grizzly bears and other wild roaming wildlife. Isn't that incredible? I love that. So I'm going to go through a few of my favorite products. These are not all of them. There's just a few. So the first one and the most important one that I recommend all animal users, all animal owners grab is actually Animal Sense TOA. And so the human version of TOA is Valor. So if you are an oily person, you guys know Valor is for confidence. This TOA is like that. So it promotes new levels of emotional freedom and joyous feelings. So this is perfect around like 4th of July when there's all the fireworks going on. You can put TOA to help calm the pet down. This is perfect for when you have new people coming around and your pet gets a little like anxious about these things, you can help calm the pet down. So TOA is just one that you want to have on hand. And the best part about all of our Animal Sense is, like I said, they're pre-diluted. So you can use them on medium-sized dogs without having to dilute them. Every other animal, there's a dilution ratio, but medium-sized dogs, they're good to go. So the second one that I highly recommend we all have on hand is actually Animal Sense ointment. And this is a very protective and soothing salve. So this ointment is typically used for minor skin irritations and cuts, and it's actually designed to cover the wound and seal in the essential oils. So you want to, if you have a wound with the animal, you want to seal it. So put the essential oils on first, like your lavender, and then seal it with this Animal Sense ointment. Think of it like a liquid Band-Aid. And I actually use it on myself as well. If I have like a cut or something on my hands where I can't get to a Band-Aid, it's just, you can't really put a Band-Aid on these fingers and always, dancing around, having a party. Band-Aids don't work well. So I actually put Animal Sense ointment after I put my oils on to really hold in all of the nutritious good that is going to help heal that injury. And then it actually helps heal it a lot faster. So Animal Sense for 2. It's humans and animals. Love it. And it comes in this huge container. It's like a little goes such a long way. And so you can have the container. I think we had ours and we were using it on the horses. We had ours for like almost a year and a half. And we had a horse who wouldn't stop biting at the edge, at the edge of our barn. And so he created like a huge gash in the side of his face. And so we kept putting this Animal Sense ointment on his huge mouth and he healed up so great. And it was fantastic. Okay. So the next one that I think is important for everyone to have is actually our Animal Sense shampoo. And this is, if you look at animal shampoo, the ingredients on there is just so not good. It's so not good. So I wanted to let you know that Animal Sense shampoo has a ton of really, really great oils in it that are going to be super supportive for whatever animal that you have. And all of Young Living's stuff is super concentrated. So you can actually dilute this. So you can take a bottle of Animal Sense shampoo and dilute it into 3 bottles, and then you can use it and really lather up those animals up. So it is formulated to clean all different types of animal hair. It has insect repelling and killing properties in it, specifically to get rid of lice, ticks, and other insects. Ideal for the summer. It's ideal for right now, this season, right now. So it has the oils in it that I really love are lemon, geranium, citronella, northern lights, black spruce, and also vetiver. Vetiver is just an amazing oil that is just going to really support the body so much. So this is a powerhouse of a shampoo that's also getting essential oils into the body and supporting the skin. Win, win, win. Love it. Okay, so we actually also have cat treats. Now, Animal Sense cat treats is the perfect addition to the pet's reward system. And you're looking at me like, okay, Marissa, you're talking about cat treats and reward system. So these are so good that my sister has taught her cat tricks. Yes, she actually taught her cat tricks. So our cat, we call him Chicken Nugget. It's a great name. I came up with it. So Chicken Nugget can actually sit. He can do paw, and he can go back onto his back paws, and he listens to all of it. They're working on the roll, and once we get the roll, I'm gonna make a video of it. It's so freaking cute. So the cats love these things. It's actually infused with ginger, chicken meal, pea protein. Of course, it has no wheat, soy, corn, or any fillers. There's no artificial colors or gross preservatives in there, and your cats love them. So if you have a cat that is 5 to 10 pounds, you're going to do 6 to 9 treats. 10 to 15 pounds, 10 to 14 treats. 15 pounds and up, they can have about 15 treats. And this is about every 24 hours is that. And then, of course, we've got, so that's to support your little kitty cats. And then, of course, we have a dental chew for dogs, right? We got to support those dogs and their amazing smiles, right? We want to get them all sparkly. So the dog dental chews are actually designed to help instinctual chewing. So if they are like chewing a little weird, it actually teaches them and reminds them of how to instinctually chew. Very interesting, right? So it also supports oral health, as does the kitty cat treats, and it actually helps digest food a little bit easier on them. So if you're noticing that they are just having some not great things happen after they eat, first of all, check the food, make sure it doesn't have any junk in it. If you need a recommendation on pet food, just shoot me a message. And then second thing is we got to get their digestive system supportive. So with pups 5 to 19 pounds, you're going to give them about a half chew 2 times a week. And for pups 20 pounds and up, you're going to give them 1 chew 2 times a week. So last thing I'm going to tell you about, and this has been a powerhouse supplement that I've used with all of the animals. Every single one of them, I've seen huge transformations within using this, and this is our Ningxia Red. So Ningxia Red is actually a liquid supplement. It's actually a wolfberry puree, and wolfberry is also known as goji berry. So it's a wellness supporting superfood that is incredibly high in antioxidants, which antioxidants actually just make it unfriendly for the environment of free radicals. And if you don't know what free radicals do in the body, just do a little quick DuckDuckGo, Google search. You need to know. You need to know. So Ningxia Red actually is a dietary supplement that helps support normal blood sugar levels, supports normal eye health, cellular function, energy levels. It's really just like an overall multivitamin to help them be their best self. And typically I put it on my cat's food. So I take a little tiny bowl next to her cat food and put a little bit of cat food in there, and then just sprinkle some of the Ningxia on top of that. And I only leave it out for about, I don't know, a couple hours. I don't want it to go bad. So maybe like 12 to 24 hours. I don't leave it there for days, you know. If they don't eat it, then that's okay. My cat Luna, she does. She laps it up. She loves it. Cats, simple. I just told you. Dogs, just put it on their food and they'll lap it up. They love it. With horses, we did the same thing. And then actually I was watching one of my friends who, she has a farm and just had a goat baby. And right after, literally 10 minutes after this mama gave birth to this little goat baby, she had, so Ningxia comes in 2-ounce packets as well as these glass bottles. And in this 2-ounce packet, she actually was just feeding the goat, and the goat was eating it right out of her hands. Like she was just squeezing it into her mouth like water, because it's just so good for their body. So they understand, they know that plants work well in their body, and they are going to really just be so happy when you give them these options. So I hope you guys have learned so much. I love talking about animals and pets, and I will be posting these recipes on my blog if you need them written down, if you missed them. And if you guys have any questions about how to get these products, how to get them discounted, how to get the education that I have, I would love to pour into you and support you in that way. And just shoot me a message and I will get that information for you. Hope everyone has a great day.